Hey, Sean Simon, what's up, brother? Man, yeah, man, it's been a long time, man. Good to see you as well. You're still wrestling, right? Thank you for the thumbs up. You still wrestling? Cool, man. Cool. Hope you get all that you want out of that. Hey, man, I've been looking at the news and I see the United States is kind of going crazy. Is that true? I mean, I see like all this shit on excuse my language, on the like basically like Portland, New York, not New York, New York too, Chicago, L.A. and that stuff, man. What do you think about all that? Yeah. Hey, man, just so long as you keep yourself in good condition, don't smoke, don't drink, don't do any of that bullshit because it really is bullshit. And stay healthy and athletic. You know, that's the best thing in life. You won't regret it when you get older. That's for sure. But you will regret if you smoke and drink. That you will regret. But I'm just, oh, look at that. For a second, I thought there's something wrong with that dog. Not bad, thank you. I've been up since about 2 o'clock in the morning here, which is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Eastern time, in the United States. So not bad. Just sort of looking at the internet, I'm studying languages. So I'm studying French, Spanish, German, Russian. I speak Thai already. I speak all these languages a little bit, some to more effect than others. But I'm studying these languages. I'm studying chess and I'm studying mathematics. So just try to, I dropped out of school very early, so my math skills are where I want them to be. So I use like Duolingo to to mess around with that, and I'll even add music because when I was a kid, my mom put me. I used to take guitar lessons, but it was Spanish classical guitar, so I was able to read notes, read music, and stuff like that. And I don't know. I mean, I was like, I just do it for my own enjoyment, basically, to keep my mind, active in a good way. Because if you don't do anything, the mind tends to wander, and doing something is better than doing nothing, I think, at least, maybe, I don't know, I can't really make an argument for doing nothing. But I do enjoy that. And I studied Spanish and French as a kid. And even Russian, I spoke some Russian with, because I was a chess player, like a tournament chess player for a portion of my life. So you just naturally pick up a few words and you make some friends along the way. And you learn some words, whatever, some phrases and stuff like that. Oh yeah, you saw one. Which one did you see? If you don't mind me asking you. I only asked, especially because you said you like it. If you said, if you said it was like, oh man, I saw one of your new videos. It was the worst video ever. I'd be like, yeah, I want to see. Which one did you see too? See, you know. But you know. Oh, sawadee, arun sawat. Those puppies, man, they were half a kilo, which is like a pound. When we got them, when the kid, this like 5-year-old boy brought them over and gave them to my wife, and now they're like, I don't know, like 20 pounds. So that's pretty amazing, you know. Like they were like their mother. Like what happens here is like there's a lot of stray dogs, right? So the laws here are quite different than the laws in Western countries. Here, dogs are just they roam around. So sometimes people get upset with that here, and they'll poison like a dog or something like that. And that's what happened to that. Those puppies' mother was poisoned because people whoever it was, didn't like that dog being around. And so she had a litter of 5, and that kid brought over the two you see in the videos. And they're just a pound apiece, like just, wow, maybe a week old or something like that. And of course, once we see them, we can't let them go. And now they're, part of the family. And 20 pounds. I watch all your videos. Your video is probably one of the best videos I ever had. Oh, man, I appreciate that very, very much. I mean, it's like, I don't try to make like flashy videos or anything like that, But I do think there's a void in like, on YouTube and stuff like that. Like, you don't need to see somebody knocking someone out or something like that, or doing something like, all that shit, like, that's nonsense. Sometimes you might want, it's what you put in your mind, that makes you, that, I don't know. I mean, it's so long as it's, clean, stuff, Look at this guy. He's ready to go. Hope not too much. Also it's like, the other side of the world. Maybe you saw the Catholic cemetery. I've been dying to go to that for a long time. The Catholic cemetery, it's like 15, 16 minutes long. But like checking out the tombstones, because they're like Catholic missionaries that came to Thailand. They started in like the 15th century, I think. So I was curious, like how old was that cemetery and stuff like that. And I'd been there, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. But I wasn't like all that. I mean, I was interested, but I didn't like take the time or anything like that. So this time I took the time to look at the graves, do a little. My wife helped with the translations, and also to take a look at the dates. And as far as I could tell, the oldest tombstone that I saw was about 160 years old. Arun Sawat. So I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, like, it's like that place that made the video there is a place that, like, you will never, I don't think you will see on YouTube. Like, I don't think anybody, maybe they have, I mean, it's like, but it just seems to me like that is so out of the way. And it's not a tourist site or anything like that. It's just a Catholic cemetery, so. It basically provides a record of the people that were there. But yeah, they were like only like 160 years. I think it was like 1900, around 1900, which doesn't seem like all that far long ago to me. Like my grandparents were born like the teens, the 19 teens. And both my grandfathers fought in World War II and were killed in World War II. And before that, fought in World War One. Not exactly sure what happened in World War One though. But I know that my both my biological grandfathers were killed. One in Normandy, and the other one in the Bataan Death March in the Philippines. So what I mean is like 1900s doesn't seem like all that, because I remember my grandmother, right? And I remember, so I was like, like under 10 years old when I met them. They didn't seem like that. I mean, they seemed older, but like, I think back to the 19 teens, and that's when they were born, and I knew them, which was pretty cool, And I also met, when I was young, I met, we're calling it the grand aunties, and they were from, it wasn't states back then, like it was like the plains, like on the plains, they lived in a mud hut on the plains in, I don't know, like Montana or something like that. And when I met them in the 70s, they were already 100 years old. So that's the 1870s, just after the Civil War. So, I mean, that's kind of like freaky when I think about it. Like, I actually met and talked to people who were like born right after the Civil War. But, that's, kind of interesting how to put things in kind of perspective in a way. I mean, when I was 14 years old, I had my appendectomy. So I got my appendix. And I had a roommate in the hospital, and he was a World War II veteran, and he was only in his 60s at that time, and I was 14. So that would make it the 80s, 1984, when I was in the hospital with him. And wow, I mean, he'd be 100 years old today. Jeez, think about it, man. Time flies. Got to make the most of every moment. I don't, not for nothing, but if you like Eminem, it's the moment you seize it. You better. I don't know. I'm not a very good singer, but you get one shot, and it's kind of true. You know what I mean? I mean, it's very true. It's not kind of true. It's 100% true. So, you got to seize the moments. Like, I met a famous grandmaster in chess when I was playing tournament chess, and I asked him what like his advice was. I was young, he was older than me, and he said, "Don't miss your moment." That's all he said. Don't miss your moment, and that could be like plural. Any moments you have in life, don't miss it. And but it's also important to realize when you're in the moment. For example, let's say you're training for like a wrestling meet, right? That's your moment, Let's keep your head in the game, That's your moment, like if you get distracted outside of that, then you're going to miss your moment, right? But if you totally focus on what you're doing, you're going to perform to the best of your abilities. It doesn't mean you have to win. It's just sort of prioritizing things, Don't miss your moment, because you look back and, you'll look back and you'll have some feeling of satisfaction. I didn't miss my moment. Like right now, every moment is our moment, really, but like some forms of the present, seem more poignant than others. So like right now is, a moment. Just keep your head, man. Be aware of it, But yeah. So Looks like a pretty hazy day. Arun Sawat. So you know how people tend to moments. I'll never ever back down about saying this. Is that when they start smoking weed or drinking or something like that, they're gonna miss their moment. All those people, they miss their moments. Like they think they're in the moment at that moment, but they're not. You know, because they're taking themselves out of reality. And reality is wild enough as it is. You know what I mean? Like how are you gonna cope with reality if you're messing around? You know. I mean, reality is, a head trip is in itself, you know. So, dog's he didn't look. All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Good luck in your endeavors, and I hope all the best for you. God bless. Arun Sawat. Hold on a second. Hello, good morning, Gumaru. How are you today? Thank you for stopping by. Hope everything's good where you are. How is everything? Mấy bà lời mấy quay gạt mình mấy quay gạt mình hao mấy quay gạt ởรุ่นสวัสดิ์ครับไม่มีออกกำลังครับมาไม่ค่อยกัดจะชอบเขาถูกต้อง
เต้นนะเราไม่กลัวมันเรา
ใช่ Okay, everybody, we're at the halfway mark of our morning exercise. I'm going to end the stream now, and I hope that you all got to see Thailand and the morning of Saturday morning, 2025, October 11th, and maybe you got to see something new, that you didn't see before. So, all right, God bless everybody. Everybody keep a nice, clean focus in life and keep it positive. Always the positive messages is much better than the negative. So, big ups to positivity. All right, bye-bye.